Good afternoon, everyone. Today is March 18th, 2026. You can see the time live in the top left of the corner, and I am on the East Coast in South Florida. I wanted to get this video out as quick as I can because last night Show Me the Money Club to me was absolutely awesome. But as usual, there's a lot of stuff that, based on submissions from drivers, are lacking a lot of context. So, as all of you know, Lyft and Uber are not two of my favorite companies, but I do prefer Lyft over Uber for a myriad of reasons. But I want to try to provide some context to two hot topics that were brought up last night on the show. And I am going to use some screenshots from their podcast, which is a must-see for everybody watching this 6 p.m. Eastern Time live on Tuesdays. It is just an awesome amount of information from two people who are passionate about doing the right thing for not only the driver community, but any type of gig work, and hats off to them. But we don't always agree on everything, and I just want to provide a little context. So right now what you're looking at is my live Lyft app. Now it is Wednesday afternoon at 12:49. Look at what you're seeing here. So here's part of the context. March is the busiest month for rideshare or any type of gig work in South Florida. Last year, 143 million people, I believe, visited Florida as tourists. Once again, the number one state in the United States for tourism. In March, you have spring break, which begins at the very last bit of February from college campuses all over the country, and they don't all go at the same time. So every week in March is just amazingly busy. It is also cold in a lot of the country. We had record blizzards in the last 2 weeks in the Midwest and the Northeast, which makes more people come to warmer climates. Third, it's St. Patrick's Day week. Fourth, the Miami Open is here, which is where it says Miami Lot 1 on my screen. About 10 miles to the north is where the Miami Open is. Look at these surges in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. Do you think it's busy here? Keep that in mind as I progress through the points I want to make. Needless to say, I hate Uber and Lyft. I always will. But that doesn't mean that I have never stopped trying to stay ahead to make as much money as I can. To give you some perspective, if you look to the right of $14.57, you'll see the word Pompano. The bottom of the screen is Miami Airport and the Port of Miami. From north to south, that's probably about 30 miles or so. From east to west, where you see the 70 and 60% surge to where my car is about 11 or 12 miles. So that's the scope. So now I'm going to broaden it a little bit, and I'm just going to show you that it doesn't end there. It goes down into some South Miami with surge prices. And for those of you who don't know Florida, that's Key West, Key Largo. That's about as far south as you can go in the United States, Key West. Obviously not a big Uber and Lyft presence there. And then if you go a little bit north, it ends around Pompano, and then it's a little bit busy. This is Palm Beach area. But obviously, most of the people for spring break are down here. Okay, so now for the time being, I'm going to switch to one of the screenshots that was on last night's show. So if you go back and watch the show, you'll see it. So a lot of the talk here was about, are these rides worth it? Why does it take 58 minutes to go 11 miles? Well, here's some perspective on that ride. The driver got this ride offer in North Miami Beach. He's going to pick someone up at the Port of Miami at 9 o'clock in the morning. Here's a little more perspective. There are 5 to 7 ships at the Port of Miami, all of which start disembarking at 8 a.m. If there's 5,000 people on a cruise ship, there's 28,000 people coming out of that port. They're all looking for Uber and Lyft. I would guarantee you that 40 minutes of that 11.3 miles is from when you enter the port until you get to the port to pick the person up. The other thing is, there's a queue there. So if they're pinging people 11 miles away, that should tell you that there's no drivers in the queue. So the likelihood that this person's going to cancel, yes, they may. They may and choose to get into a taxi, who, just like at airports, can wait right by the terminal. But obviously they haven't. But here's the thing about Lyft that Uber doesn't do. If you start driving and 7 miles into the ride, they cancel, you don't get a $2 cancel fee. You get paid for miles and minutes when they cancel. Again, that's context. That's important. When I look at this ride, I look at two things. 11.3 miles, 18.2 miles. That's a total of 29.5 miles. This ride brings about $1.75 a mile to and from and my cost is 39 cents a mile. If you think this ride's not worth it, then I don't know what to tell you. But to me it is. Not that I would have taken it, but to me it is. Okay, the other thing is, if this ride goes long, Lyft pays you for that. So if you get stuck in traffic, you're making extra money. So again, that ride to me, well, yes, it's not advantageous to travel 58 minutes. It is what it is. There's only so many drivers. There's millions of people here. Now go to the second ride, 11 miles and 25.9. This is a 36-mile ride for $58. Again, $1.70 to $1.80. Again, there's no cars in the queue because of the demand, and this one's going back up the East Coast. So we can bitch and moan all we want. I don't know if I would take the last ride, to tell you the truth, because that's 26 miles for $26. But again, context. This is a ping to Fort Lauderdale Airport. That means there's no cars in the queue. There's also another cruise port at Fort Lauderdale Airport, not the one I just showed you in the previous screenshot. That also has 8 or 9 ships there with 5,000 people each. While I wouldn't take it for $26.83, the reason that this person is even getting this ping is because there are no drivers in the queue. Sometimes it is what it is. And by the way, these are Uber. I didn't realize that. So forget about what I said, that the cancel fee goes up and down. So that's a little bit of context. Here's the Lyft one. And this is the one that really, I scratch my head about. Okay, yes, it is horrible what they do. But I'm going to take you through my Lyft app in a second. And what I'm going to show you is that the rules of Turbo are spelled out clearly. There is no hocus pocus here, guys. I live here. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know how many rides I've taken. I've done videos showing you how to use Flash Turbo to significantly increase how much money you make on a ride. And I've also stated that Turbo or Flash Turbo for on-demand rides is non-existent, because that is when they manipulate the fare. If you focus on reserved rides where the price is fixed, Flash Turbo will definitely increase the way it should. But again, I want to provide some context. So here's what's missing from this screenshot that the driver set in. The guy who got 110% turbo, that's total turbo. If that reserve ride already had a 50% turbo baked into it, then he's really only getting 60% turbo. And I'm going to show you in a second how you can tell if when you take a reserve ride, there is a turbo already baked in. There is more than one way. So now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And by the way, it clearly states in the rules of Turbo that it's only off the base fare. So that's not hidden. That's not breaking any law. It clearly says it, though many of us don't take the time to read. So I want to go back to my app now and show you what I'm talking about. So here's the schedule ride queue. And yes, you guys are correct. There are exponentially more scheduled rides on Lyft than there are on Uber. Again, this is what you're seeing at 12:58 in the afternoon. So here's how you do it. 11:31 includes 320 bonus. So take 320 off 11:31, and that makes it about an $8 ride. So you can guesstimate that, 320 of $8, there's probably a 30% turbo already figured into the price of this upfront fare. So if you go back to the home screen and you're in a 60% turbo, Flash Turbo bonus area, then you're only going to get an additional 30%. But if you scroll down, here's a ride for $10.93, no turbo. So if you accepted that, and when this ride got pinged to you, you had 110% turbo, you would get 100% of $10.93. They're not hiding it from you. And again, you can verify this. So let's just see for kicks and giggles if I see an address that jumps out to me. So this ride has a $3.95 bonus in it for $10.68. So let's open it up and explore a little bit. The ride's no longer available, of course. Let's find another one. Okay, let's just go to today, 31st Street in Collins, 330, 825. Now, some of that 205 bonus might be a premium ride bonus, but there's a way to verify it. So today at 330, and this is in Miami Beach. So go off of this for a second, and now go back to your main page and go to the Turbo map. So let's see at 3:30 p.m., where the turbos are. So that ride was in North Miami Beach. So there's a 20% turbo already built into the price of that ride. Again, if you do your research, if you do your homework, if your goal is just to complain about Lyft and Uber, you're going to find millions of things to complain about. You know, I would be more concerned that Walmart just settled a $100 million lawsuit in North Carolina for manipulating tips. I got $32 out of that. Where did the other $100 million go? Is $100 million a lot of money to a company that's worth $900 billion? In answer to Chris and Sergio's question, which they always ask, here's the answer. It will not change. None of this will change until somebody is behind bars, because a $100 million fine will not stop Walmart from what they're doing. All of these screenshots are not going to stop Uber and Lyft from manipulating what they do with prices until the punishment is not monetary, but somebody's freedom gets taken away. Or in the case of the raid at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport holding area, where there were 350 cars in there, and then after ICE left, there were 50. I haven't even heard that they got fined for that. How about pulling their license for 5 years to operate at any airport in the United States? You think that would make them change their ways? Again, we can always find things to complain about. There are ways, and if you look for my videos that I've posted through their channel, thankfully to them, I show you how to win, not because I'm bragging, because there are ways to beat them at their own game, however temporary they are, because they always catch on, because they have hundreds of coders, and I'm just a simple man. So eventually they'll catch on. But until they do, you have to use your head. So all the time you spend complaining about what they do, use it to find ways to stay ahead of the game and maximize your profits. In closing, I just want to say I love your negative comments. Make sure you send them, because they keep me challenged and they keep me focused. But I am never going to stop trying to help Chris and Sergio help you guys. I just do it differently. We know they're the devil. In life, sometimes you have to play with the devil, and you have to get down and dirty like the devil, because they are not living by the rules. When you play with people like this, you have to play dirty sometimes. Everything I do is in the terms of service. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.